Okay, let's be real. Finding something that the whole family actually enjoys in a big city like Paris, it can be tough, right? You're looking for that bit of magic, but you really could do without the giant crowds and the chaos. So let's talk about a place you might have completely missed.
Does this sound at all familiar? This is a quote straight from a parent on Reddit who is just done with the whole big theme park experience. You know the feeling? The peeling paint, the ridiculously overpriced food, and those endless lines. It just grinds you down.
But then they found something else, an alternative. A place that was calm, genuinely beautiful, and had a totally different kind of charm, and it was right inside Paris. This is the story of that pleasant surprise, the Jardin d'Acclimatation. So what is this place exactly? Well, don't think of it as trying to be another Disneyland. Think of it as Paris's very own unique answer to the big theme parks. And its location is a huge deal. It's tucked away inside the massive Bois de Boulogne park, which means it's super easy to get to on the metro. No long, complicated train rides out to the suburbs. This is literally Paris's own neighborhood amusement park. And this little chart really nails what makes it so different. Instead of those shoulder-to-shoulder crowds, you get this calm, very Parisian vibe. Instead of the usual park food, you can get things like a fresh smoked salmon baguette for about €8. The paper ride thing is also fantastic if you've got little kids who might not want to go on everything. And the gardens? Get this. They're managed by the luxury group LVMH. So yeah, they are absolutely gorgeous.
Now, it feels like this modern little fairy tale, but the park's story, well, it's much older and honestly, way more complicated than it looks on the surface.
So let's rewind the clock. The park actually opened way back in 1860 under Emperor Napoleon III, and it started as a scientific project by a zoological society. The goal was to take exotic plants and animals from all over the world and see if they could acclimate them to the French climate for farming or business. In fact, some of the classic attractions you can still ride today, like the little train and the enchanted river boat ride, date all the way back to this era. But underneath all that scientific curiosity and family fun, the garden became the backdrop for a really disturbing chapter in colonial history. We have to talk about the park's role in what were known as human zoos. Now, this is a difficult but incredibly important part of the story. For decades, this park, along with others in Europe, hosted these so-called ethnographic exhibitions. What that really meant was that people, brought from French colonies and other places around the globe, were put on display for the entertainment and curiosity of Parisians.
This picture, for instance, shows a group of Fuegians from Patagonia who were exhibited at the park around 1881. And these displays were incredibly popular. They drew enormous crowds. Here's another example. A postcard from 1891 showing an exhibit of the Dahomey Amazons. It's just a stark, unavoidable reminder that this practice was once a central, defining part of the park's identity. So you can see how knowing this history changes everything. The beautiful, charming garden that you visit today is layered right on top of a site with some really profound historical and ethical weight to it. So, how did the park get from that dark past to the place it is today? Well, it all started with a massive, and I mean massive, transformation. Back in 2017, the luxury group LVMH, which helps manage the park, poured €60 million into completely reinventing it. And this really shows you the shift. Before, it was kind of a classic but random collection of rides. Now, everything has been reimagined with this cool, cohesive steampunk theme. You know, think Victorian sci-fi, lots of gears and brass, like something straight out of a Jules Verne novel. It's super stylish, really creative, and it gives the whole place a brand new, unified feeling. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff. What can you actually ride there? Well, the renovation brought in 17 new attractions, and they blended them right in with the old historic classics. So for anyone who wants a little speed, there's Speed Rockets, which is a surprisingly smooth bobsled-style coaster. And the machine à vapeur, or the steam engine, looks pretty tame, but it has this one crazy ejector hill that gives you a serious burst of airtime. It'll catch you by surprise. But honestly, where the park really shines is with its family rides. You've got the historic Rivière Enchantée from 1926, the famous little train for a scenic trip, and the classic galloping horses. It's just a fantastic mix for all ages. So, when you put it all together, what is the Jardin d'Acclimatation today? It's really this blend of history, high style, and family fun, and it holds a pretty important place in the city. And it's a major financial player, too. This chart shows you the annual revenue from different concessions in Paris. The Jardin brings in over 28 million euros a year. Now, that's more than double the Parc Floral, and while it's obviously not the Eiffel Tower, it's still a really significant part of the city's leisure economy. And remember that original complaint about awful food? Well, the food here reflects that modern, chic identity. You're not just getting standard theme park junk. There's a proper Sicilian restaurant, gourmet burgers, artisanal ice cream. It's just another one of those things that makes the whole experience feel distinctly Parisian. So if you're thinking about going, it honestly couldn't be easier. Just hop on Metro Line 1 to the Les Sablons station. You can pay a small fee just to get in and walk around the gardens, or you can buy a pass for unlimited rides. And a little tip, weekdays are definitely the calmest, but the park also does these amazing seasonal events like its Dia de los Muertos festival in the fall, which is super popular. And all of this brings us to one final thought. The Jardin d'Acclimatation is, without a doubt, a beautiful, fun, and quintessentially Parisian spot. But it's also a place with a very heavy and complicated history. And so the question it kind of leaves you with is a challenging one. How do we, and how should we, enjoy these wonderful modern places that are built, quite literally, on top of a difficult past?